Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'd like to take a closer look at what is referred to as the 100th Monkey Phenomenon. Now this is in reference to a book written by Kevin Keyes Jr. called The 100th Monkey. And it tells a beautiful story, whether it's true or not, that illustrates the tipping point, our critical mass. What happens when the 100th monkey does something? All of the rest of the monkeys know about it. And this is what I make reference to every time in my videos when I keep saying, if we don't reach the tipping point, things will never change. And if you're not sure what I mean by that, is that what everyone offers are only downstream solutions. They see the problems, they want to try to solve them, and we need to do that. If the environment becomes polluted, we got to clean it up and stop polluting it. But that's a downstream solution. We have to understand, why are we doing that? Why do we prey upon ourselves? Why do we compete for resources on an abundant planet? Well, it all ties back to what they call the worst mistake we ever made. And why was it so bad? Because we lost one of our senses. Now, you're not going to hear that from very many people except from people like me. Because I've been studying this long enough and I put all the pieces together, my friends. And it's so obvious. If you find the first cause and you try to punch holes in it, I've done that forever. For 26 years I've been trying to punch a hole in this and find some way that it's not true. And it is true. And now science backs it up. Dr. Fritz Albert Popp proved that cooking our food destroys what he coined a biophoton. Way back in 1976 he gave it that name. And why? Because he had an instrument that he invented in 1974, identified that all living systems that have a nucleus, a eukaryotic cell we call them, plants, animals, and fungi, they all have this light coming out of their cells. And it's not the same thing as Kirlian photography. It's not bioluminescence. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a special type of light, energy, that's actually faster than the speed of light. Think about what I'm saying. We are destroying coherent sunlight energy that we store in the nucleus of our cells that's faster than the speed of light, and it's what builds our sixth sense that we are unaware of. So the 100th Monkey Phenomenon tries to illustrate what happens when enough people think a certain way, everybody figures it out, or almost everyone. And it wasn't that long ago that scientists came out and said it's 10%. I believe that article was written in 2011, I read. And that's usually what it takes for the masses to figure something out. Now, if you're not familiar with the 100th Monkey Phenomenon, the way the story goes, according to Kevin, is that there are these scientists, Japanese scientists, on an island, and there's some monkeys out there, and they decide to start feeding the monkeys, so they throw some sweet potatoes out into the sand, and the monkeys fell in love with the sweetness of those sweet potatoes, but the sand wasn't a whole lot of fun until a little 18-month-old female found a solution by putting it in the water and cleaning it up a little bit. And hey, it tasted a whole lot better. Of course, she showed her mother, and next thing you know, her mother is telling everyone else, and every chimp, every little monkey that was a mother that had children, you know, what happened, of course, is the adults that had the little babies around, they learned from those babies. And then finally, one morning, and they assume, let's say we had 99 monkeys today, but when we woke up, all of a sudden that 100th monkey figured it out. And then what happened? Even the adult monkeys that weren't around the small monkeys, it all came to them because they had this collective mind. Enough energy and a thought was in one mind. Again, we're connected in a way most of us don't understand. This is why we struggle so much, is we lost that connection, that feeling that we're one with everything. And once we gain that back, if we can reach the tipping point and then everyone does it, no one's going to want to pollute the environment because that's what we finally come to the realization that we're all one. Our environment's part of our external metabolism. You can't even crap in someone else's backyard because everything is connected to you. And that's the piece of the puzzle we're missing. And we can't intellectualize about this. We have to experience it by not cooking our food. Stop cooking your food and you'll see wondrous things happen to your life. The synchronicity, the things you think, the things that come to you. It's exciting when you stop making mistakes, but we're addicted to the mistakes. There's nothing wrong with cooked food. Oh, you get more nutrients when you cook it. You stupid fools. You're wanting to believe it's okay to cook food. Weigh both sides, my friend. Look at what they're saying. We get a little bit more of it, and let's take a look at what we're losing. My God, we're losing so much. Even if the biophotons aren't part of that list, we lose so much. It's a foolish thought that it could in any way make our lives better, which is what the rules of the world want us to believe. So there's a lot of disinformation out there. There's a lot of shills going out there. Thanks to one of my commenters, I found one guy that was crapping on my website. I banned him immediately as soon as I saw him. I knew what he was doing. And then I got a link to another video today, and I saw a guy crapping over there too. Watch out for people who try to distract us and take away from the message. If they're not contributing to my thread, beware of them. If they're attacking me, beware of them. I don't care about me. But when they attack me, that's their way of indirectly attacking my message, our message. The truth that we're not supposed to cook our food is the big mistake. And when we don't make that mistake, all the other mistakes go away, except for damage we've done to our society, the environment, and us individually on every level, physically, mentally, emotionally. There's a lot of damage control we need to do, and who knows if we'll ever be able to repair some of the psychological damage and emotional damage. But that's what's so exciting about a solid food vacation. When you go on a solid food vacation, go down below and click the description box, or hit the description box, and you'll find the first of my 3-step process. That's a solid food vacation. When you do this, my friends, it will transform you in ways you just can't understand. And it'll do it 10 times faster. That's why I say this is an idea's time has come, because we have to reach the tipping point. The 100th monkey's got to do a juice fast, a solid food vacation, so everyone can go, oh my God, everywhere I go, I keep seeing these people juice fast. They didn't look at them, look at them, look at them. I want some of that. To illustrate the tipping point, again, back in 2011, they said it's 10%, it's 10%. Let's just make up some numbers. Let's say it takes 100 years to get to 10%. Now, in 10 seconds, we make it to 100%. Darn it, I'm being attacked again by something. Last time I was out here, I had a fly that wouldn't leave me alone. Anyway, when we hit that tip, again, if it takes 10 years, or 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years to get to 10%, all of a sudden in 10 seconds, we're at 100%. Now, that's a little exaggerated, but it illustrates the point. It takes forever to get to the tipping point. And what do I say 1,000 times over and over? Things are never going to change unless that happens. Why? Because all we end up doing is the downstream work, which would be this part of my schematic, being the third stage. And we got to do downstream work to help deal with the damage we've done to the environment and society, especially ourselves. But if we only do that and we don't go upstream to learn what the mistakes we're making in the second stage, and then go to the first stage and find out our belief, there's that mosquito, and then find that find the knowledge we're missing and apply it. That's how simple it is to get out of this hell we've created. It's not that hard. We just got to get enough of us to do this. That's why all I ever do is keep trying to motivate you guys to do this. John, tell us how to do it. I already put up a video that tells you pretty much everything you need, except if you need to customize this. Well, I can't customize for everybody. I'm only one guy, and I'm trying to get away from dealing with people individually, although I still do that. I want to work with millions of you guys. So be aware of my time. If you're going to ask, what do I do, John? Keep in mind, I've got hundreds of you guys doing that. I can't spend all that time with everybody. I can allot a little bit of it so I can pay my bills, but be considerate of my time and realize the more I help people individually, the less I have time to work on my other projects, and I got too many in the fire already. So I'm not saying slow down any. I love all the emails, but I haven't even read a small fraction of the emails. My Facebook page, I have over 100 comments, chats I haven't even looked at. And I'm not complaining. Please keep it coming. But when it gets that big of a list, I don't even want to try to tackle it because I'm such a fanatic about got to finish it right away that I almost don't even want to put a dent in it. So I'm rambling here only to get around to the same point I always get around to, right? We got to test an idea as time has come. So we get closer to the 100th monkey. So we can get to that 10% or whatever that number is so we can change our mentality collectively. The reason why we pollute the environment, the reason why we have all the stupid things and negative things on our planet right now is because we have the wrong mentality. Why? Because most of us only have 5 senses. We need our 6th sense, our spidey sense. Now it's still there. According to Dr. Fritz Albert Popp, who coined the word biophoton in '76, he says we humans are born at 43,000 biophotons, and that we're born at 43,000 biophotons, but most of us are around 1,000 to 23,000, depending on how much raw food we eat and how much organic food we eat. When we're supposed to be at 83,000, we're supposed to be way up here. And the #1 way they heal alternatively in Germany is a solid food vacation. And Dr. Popp says, well, you get up to 114,000 biophotons by bombarding your body with a bunch of juice. Now, people, I'm going to digress for a moment and address an issue for one person who is saying, well, now Herbert Shelton said that we shouldn't drink juice. We're getting too many nutrients. We're just urinating that excess. We're not benefiting from it, which is what he always said about vitamin supplements. He was really down on vitamin supplements for a reason, because in his day, these were fragmented foods and they were crap. And the problem I have with Herbert Shelton is he has no personal experience with juice fasting. And another video someone sent me a link to, they were saying, oh, I talked to a woman who did a juice fast and she had all these problems. Oh my God, it's bad, bad, bad. You bozo, you sound like that clown McDougal who talked to a raw foodie who was a failure and assumed all raw foodies do like you. Stop talking to failures, man. Talk to people who know how to do this. Someone who's been doing it for a while and has figured it out. There's a lot of ways to do this wrong. Now, to get back to Shelton, the flaws in Shelton's thinking there's several layers to Shelton's flaws. There's several flaws in his thinking. One was he made the suggestion, oh, you're getting too much, so it'd be better to drink less. And this is in total conflict with what he said before. In his other books, I've read just about everything he's ever written about water fasting. And he says, when you do a water fast, it's got to be no nutrition whatsoever, 0, 0, 0. Even a little bit of sip of lemon juice will throw off autolysis, and you're not fasting anymore. Don't even drink a little bit, not even a little sip of lemon juice. And now Shelton goes, oh, don't drink a half a gallon, only drink a quart. Ah, you fool. No, you got to go one way or the other. And I call you a fool, you know I love you. I learn more from you than almost everybody, but you're born 100%. You have flaws, and this is probably why Lauren Lockwood thinks this way, and Doug Graham thinks this way, because it's the Babel effect. One idiot says something, and 2 more idiots parrot that same garbage. When you do a juice fast or a water fast, and I've done videos on this before, you got to go one or the other. You got to give your body everything it needs. If you're doing water fast, you don't want any lemon juice. You don't want to drink less juice. If you're going to do anything, you got to drink the right amount of juice. So you give your body everything it needs. On a water fast, you give your body everything it needs in terms of not giving it anything. That's the drawbacks to it, because we don't live in an ideal world anymore. That was the way, that was the solution for millennium, for eons. That's what we'd have to do if something happened. But we don't live in an ideal world anymore, and now it actually can be dangerous if we have a lot of heavy metals in us, and we won't be able to then apply the art of healing or the knowledge of how to adapt. The natural hygienists like Shelton have the knowledge of how to live, but they don't have the knowledge of how to adapt. And one way to adapt is to do a juice fast, but do it the right way. You got to drink enough juice. Shelton's a fool to say comments like that, because I coach thousands of you guys. Read the description box below and look at the vast majority of people going, oh my God, 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 oh my God. Oh God, when people poo-poo juice fasting, I can get a little irate about that. And this clown says, I agree with Shelton, he's the expert on everything. He's not. That's why people can get in trouble. People assume they're perfect. Well, that's a tough part. I talked about this before, that everybody that you study, no one's going to be 100%. The tricky part is, well, how much do you take and what do you take? And we tend to take what seems to make sense to us or fits our other existing information. But when it comes to water fasting and juice fasting, I've coached too many people, and I see what happens when they don't drink enough juice, even if it's only 6 pints instead of a gallon, or 3 liters instead of 4 liters. And when you go to Gabriel Cousins' place, they only have you drinking a half a gallon or 2 liters, and it's such a bad experience because you're not giving your body everything it needs, that according to Gabriel Cousins at the Tree of Life, you can't do a juice fast a la Gabriel Cousins' method and work at the same time. Why? Because you can't function because you're not giving the body everything it needs. And he's under the false impression, like Pavel Areola was, that autolysis still kicks in. No, it doesn't. Once you start feeding the body, it's not starving anymore. In order to kick in ketosis, in order to kick in autolysis, the body has to go into this mode of not eating anything, period. So you got to not eat anything while you're doing a water fast. And then when you do a juice fast, you have to give your body everything it needs. That's number one of the three things we have to do. Second thing, support those organs of elimination. Third is to deal with the damage that we've done to our anatomy. And all the other anatomies, and I was saying a moment ago, is the beauty about doing a solid food vacation, this is a long digression, is that we cleanse on an emotional level too. This might be my record longest digression. Go back and time that. Got to be at least 3 or 4 minutes. No, I think I had 5 minutes one time. But anyway, that's the great thing about a solid food vacation, is we don't just cleanse on a physical level, we also cleanse on an emotional level. And we're damaged, people. And even that in itself might not be enough. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a great battle. And be wary of people who attack people who are trying to help people. It says a lot about them, more about them than it does the person they're attacking. But we're so easily swayed by emotion. When reason and logic doesn't work, that's the methodology of these psychopaths. So why do we have a polluted environment? Because psychopaths gravitate to positions of power. They are the ones, the CEOs of a large company, and they have no feeling of remorse, no empathy, and they don't mind pouring crap into the environment and destroying our oceans, because for them that makes them more successful in business, because now the company makes more profits. So these psychopaths will be the CEOs of a lot of bad corporations. They'll be in the political arena, we see them all over, and also in the religious community. We see a lot of scam artists in there also. So how do we deal with all those things? It's simple. We got to get reconnected. That's why I keep saying over and over, we have to test an idea as time has come. We got to get enough of us to do this so we can put an end to this madness. When we finally do that, we will indeed be in paradise. And I can't even imagine what type of treat that must be. But I want to see it. And you guys can help make it happen. In fact, it's the only way it is going to happen. So get excited. Do it. Why? Because all of us want to have a treat.